I'm going to make this quick. It's April 1st. We're going to be doing March 31st and April 1st. This will be Samuel 15 through 20. I've been watching the George Floyd trial, so I need to get everything done quickly. Okay, chapter 15. This is Samuel and Saul. And apparently Samuel went to, what was it, the Ammonites? Oh, Amalekites, I guess. And what he was supposed to do, God told him, of course, to commit genocide again and not spare anything. Kill every living thing so they don't get their sex slaves. Yay! But instead, Samuel took the best of all the best of the flocks, maybe not all the flocks, but the best of some of the flocks at least, so he could give a sacrifice to God. I'm sorry. Saul let's see. Who's the one that said? Samuel. Saul was the one who went and killed all, genocided the Amalekites and kept the best of the flock to sacrifice to the Lord. But apparently God had originally told, or Samuel told Saul to kill everything, or God told Saul himself to kill everything. I don't remember what the story was behind that, or if it was even a story. Anyways, so Saul said, you know, it's better to obey God than to give him sacrifice. Well, who would know? God's very temperamental and touchy, so who knows what God thinks. God has mental health issues. Anyways, so Samuel says, well, the punishment will be that you're not going to be king. Well, Saul is mad about that, and so what he did was let's see if Agag is mentioned prior. Saul brought, I don't think he is. Okay, because what happened was Saul, after Samuel left, Samuel turned to go, Samuel said, okay, so this wasn't Saul that said it. I thought it was Saul that said it. But anyway, Samuel said, bring Agag, the king of Amalek, to me. Agag came to him, and Agag, New American Bible says he cut Agag down before the Lord. But King James says he cut him into pieces. Isn't this all just very disgusting? So, anyways, Samuel is upset that Saul isn't going to be king. And God says, go down to this dude named Jesse, and I have plans. Samuel tells Jesse to bring all his sons in front of him, because God's going to, I guess he said right off the bat that God's going to make one of his sons a king. And so he does, and the youngest son, David, he says he's going to be the king. And so then, surprise, surprise, Saul is temperamental. His temperamental is God, and he gets in his mood swings. And so when he's in a bad mood, he wants somebody to get him out of a bad mood. So he says, you know what, I need somebody to play me music. And I guess somebody said that they knew that there was a harpist. Jesse's son David was a harpist. I think that's how this went. Anyways, somehow they found out that David was a harpist, and Saul says, go get this harpist dude. And they brought David, and David, now it says here, okay, I don't see where it was. But anyways, I think Saul and David had something going on. I think they were romantic partners. But anyways, Saul became very fond of him, made him his armor bearer. I don't know, it just sounds that they became romantic. Anyways, it's my opinion. Anyways, there's this dude named Goliath. This is a famous story. Chapter 17 is a famous story of David and Goliath, where David, I'm not going to go, this is just boys behaving stupidly, so I'm not going to go too much into it, you know, how it was all set up. David kills Goliath with a stone, and everybody was surprised. Here, once again, this little, you know, this is the story where the little dude overcomes a big dude with God's help. This was all with God's help. Now, Saul gets upset because David gets all the praise for, you know, conquering the evil people. And so he wants to get back at David. Well, David gets word that now here, David and Jonathan. I think David and Jonathan had a romantic relationship too. Jonathan, I believe they said Jonathan was the son of Saul. Anyways, Jonathan tells David, get the heck out of here. Saul, Jonathan became fond of David. Okay, yep, yeah. Jonathan tells David, my father wants to kill you or do whatever, imprison you. Get the heck out of here. So David leaves, and let's see. Somehow, I can't remember how this came to be, but David married Michal, who's Saul's daughter, and she helped him escape. And Saul was mad at Jonathan for letting David get away. So finally Saul relents after Jonathan talks to him. You know, he hasn't done anything wrong. Don't be mad at him. And so Saul recanted, and supposedly, but then he did send people to kill David at his house. But this is where Michal helped him escape. And I think Saul got mad at her too. And she lied and said, you know, he said, let me go or I'll kill you. And apparently that was a lie, because that was not what was put in the story. I think So I went to meet with Jonathan, so basically saying, what should I do? Why is this happening to me? And let's see, I don't really know I don't remember what happened. He had a meal. Jonathan found out that his father still wanted to kill David, and he left. And they made a pact at the end of chapter 20. Closed curtain. Not really much happens. It just kind of, I don't know. Just kind of boys being stupid. You know, another pissing match. Anyways, this is a skull I found. Well, actually it was outside of the tree line. I don't know what got it there, how it got there. I guess the chickens kicked it out of the tree line when they were looking for worms. You know, they dig through the ground and they kick stuff up. It doesn't have the jaw, you know, the bottom jaw. This is what I found. It's pretty neat. It's got them little pokies right there. I don't think I can sell it. Or I would.